So Cthulhu was talking about what to do with the does. You all may recall I had highlighted, and I don't know if it's still in the armory or not. Let's take a look. I had highlighted that one of the best things about the recent U.S. event around the 4th of July, the Independence Day event here, is still live, is that you can get John and George Doe. If you don't have these commanders, you definitely want to get them. And the cool thing is, these guys are free, assuming that you can get the 300 tokens. Now, you can get 600 tokens total just by doing the missions. Okay, so if you go to your combat missions, you should have an Independence Day thing here, and you can see all the tokens that you can get by playing the game. And remember, co-op is a great place to get these. And then there's another set that's very much like a dockyard, okay? But the point is, you're going to end up with 600 tokens total. So a lot of people might say, okay, I've got 600 tokens. I'm going to work through the main. Right, you do have to play. That's the rub. You can also buy the tokens with doubloons or with these. You can get them in these special bonuses. It's really up to you, but you're probably better off just grinding up and then getting that. But a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, I can get the flag, and then I can get this, right? And then I can get Leroy. Leroy doesn't matter. I mean, it's a special commander by appearance and name only. There's no extra bonuses for this captain, okay? Um, and so and then you have to then you can get the California for 2,900 doubloons, but you also have to spend another 1,000 doubloons to get another 100 tokens because it's 700 tokens here completely. So, my recommendation, frankly, the California is nice, but if you don't have the does, you want the does. Okay? The does themselves you can buy separately on your own if you're willing to spend the doubloons. If you're willing to spend the doubloons, I can't show you on this because I already have the commanders, I think. But one of them should be for coal, and one of them should be for doubloons, I believe, right? Armory.worldofwarships.com. I think it's 1500, yeah. I'm going in. Anybody can go to armory.worldofwarships.com and then they can if you do it in an incognito window, then it assumes you don't have anything. Yes, George Doe is 1,500 doubloons. John Doe is 35,000 coal. The coal is easy to get. The doubloons, that's a little pricey for some. So I always recommend people get the commanders. I've got a Zath chat video about why commanders are more important than ships. The California as a premium ship is fun and neat and stuff. How often are you going to use it? Probably not incredibly often. How often are you going to use the does? In theory, the does should be used on pretty much any premium ship, American, in your fleet, and any one tech tree ship. This is something that I've seen a lot of people do not understand, which is why I wanted to start by talking about commanders. Okay? It's the normal cost of a 10-point commander. Right. And the thing is that it's I have it right here. I don't know why I didn't notice it before. I am freaking blind today, guys. Sorry. Um the thing is that these have a star next to their name. Any commander that's got a star next to their name gives you special boosts. And for this case, for George Doe, you get a boost to Grease the Gears and Gunfeeder. You got a shipload of dubs in anticipation of the Johnston. Now you hesitate to spend that much on garbage. I don't disagree with you, Duckman. The Does are also a good substitute for Halsey if you're like a co-op Operation Clan Battles player, since Halsey's talents don't activate in those game modes. That's a very good point, Pockington. Very good point. Now, since you bring that up, there are special commanders that you can buy in the armory, and then there's these all have talents. That's why they have like the golden star, and then the white star just has bonuses to their their skills. Okay, usually it's a bonus to 1 or 2 skills, and sometimes it's class dependent. It really depends on the commander. So what I'd like to do is talk through a little bit of that with you. Now, if you don't have Halsey, you can get Halsey by completing the hit hard, hit fast, hit often uh, campaign. It's not the easiest campaign to finish, but if you're not working through any campaign tasks, then you might as well work on that. Which reminds me, I need to put in some 5 epochs of the Navy uh, tasks in. Um, so, anyways, what I've done is I put together a spreadsheet. But let me back up. Let me back up a little bit. Let's talk about the American ships for a second. This is a discussion that I had with on the Discord. Okay, so remember I said that you should have each of these special captains on a tech tree ship. Tech tree ship. If you haven't ground all the way up to tier 10 yet, any ship in this line that I'm talking about is where I'd recommend. So I recommend that you put one of those special commanders, either Halsey, Doe, or Doe, on the Montana, or you can go with the main if you play the main more. If you don't play the ship line at all, it's probably not worth it, by the way, to put them on the Montana, but this is where I'd put them. I'd put one of them on the Montana, I'd put one of them on the Vermont, and the other I'd put on the Des Moines or the Annapolis. That's what I would recommend. Now, if let's say you don't play these 3 ship lines that much, and let's say that you play mostly heavy cruisers, if you want to put one of the Does on Des Moines and Halsey on the Annapolis, or vice versa, go right ahead. Halsey should be on whichever ship you feel the most confident in and that you play the most. Okay? So that's what you should do. So I'm going to go to my Des Moines, for example. Go to equipment. Actually, I didn't have to do that because I could have just recalled commander. Who do I have on my Des Moines? Look, I've got Halsey. Now, you see how it says he's assigned to the Alabama right now? This is the thing that people don't understand. Halsey, if you build your ship for a tech tree, then what you need to do is you need to then put that same captain on any premium ship of the same type. In general, it's a good idea. So, yes, Cincinnati is from those containers. I don't know that you need to use doubloons for them. I thought they were for coal profile. Premium might be doubloons, and you might be able to get regular ones for coal. But in any case, so here's my Halsey setup, okay? This is a build for a heavy cruiser. So now what I would do then is I would say, okay, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is going to probably use the same skills, so I'm going to put Halsey on the Puerto Rico and play the Puerto Rico, right? The Salem is a clone of Des Moines, so I'm going to put, in this case, I've got Ovechkin on here. I don't know why. I'm going to go to Assign Commander, and I'm going to go find my Halsey. I'm going to put Halsey on my Salem. Tulsa is a tier 9 version of a Des Moines. I'm going to go ahead and put Halsey on my Tulsa. You get the idea. Now, Vallejo is not a heavy cruiser. Vallejo is a different ship, right? It's got 152s. So you're probably going to have a different build for it. You could use the same build, or you could put a different captain on. Again, I've got Ovechkin on here, probably because of the buffed survivability expert. But you get the idea, okay? So I always recommend that people, if you aren't using your commanders for multiple ships, your best commanders, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong because you're leaving benefits on the table. What are the benefits I'm talking about? For Halsey, you get a benefit to grease the gears. Rock and Mozart, 2-minute ads every 2 minutes. That's about right. That's about right. I should remind everybody that I also have this going on YouTube. So you can always have the 2 tabs together, and like watching radio, you can change stations, you can change tabs. If one goes to commercial break, you can put it on the other one. But anyways, so grease the gears is a buff skill. You get enhanced ability out of this, right? And most heavy cruisers benefit from grease the gears. And they also benefit from buffed gun feeder. So instead of, what is that? I think it's 40% shell tie switching time reduction. Now it's 60%. So you want to be using your captains, your special captains, on as many ships as you can. Okay? So what I have done to help keep organized is I've created a spreadsheet. And I'm going to share this with you guys. And then maybe what I can do is I can put this as a viewer only, or maybe even open up for comments and stuff like that. So I've got a link to the build sheet that I like to use, and then I've got other ones. To gain Commander XP ASAP, Wolfie, once you're at 21 points, you do get Commander XP. You actually, I believe, don't you get more XP from a non-21 point captain? I think that's how Wargaming did it when they redid the economics and stuff. It's been a long time since I've really delved into that. But having a captain trained on a premium restricts him without premiums, without retraining. Right. You can take a captain and put on any premium and play it, and it's fine. The other thing about Halsey, yes, he's 15 points out of the box compared to 10. So if you get both the does, you set one up the Des Moines line and the other up the Montana line and use the grinds to promote them. Yes, exactly. But if you've got 3 of them here, so you can put down, okay, how many points are they out of 21? All of mine are 21. Actually, no, they aren't. What ship are they assigned to? Halsey is assigned to Des Moines. Now, yeah, so 21 point captain with takes that Commander XP, puts it into Elite Commander XP, but I believe you get less Elite Commander XP than just the Commander XP if it was under. Bingo. Thank you, Duckman. There it is. You get bonus to Commander XP. Anyways, so premiums that built for. You can type them all down, sale and whatnot. For me, what I would do is I would go to my captain build document, dismiss that, and I'm going to search for Des Moines. Okay, here we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, Indianapolis, I'm just going to take this here, and I'm going to copy this to my spreadsheet, and then I'm going to get rid of all the tech tree ships in here. So Anchorage, Rochester, Buffalo is a tech tree, Tulsa, Des Moines. If I've got them assigned to Des Moines, then I take that out, and then Annapolis, like that. Okay, so there's the premiums that I will want to use Halsey on. Playing them in their first game of the day gives, for a given ship, provides a 50% bonus to regular XP. Does that also go for Commander XP? It's been a long time since I've paid attention to that. So like I said, the does, and so Halsey gets a talent for a couple different procs. Okay, the main one is going to be for your Confederate achievement. You have to do like 40% HP damage to like 4 ships or 5 or something. It's not an easy achievement to get. So in general, I would say you want to put Halsey on whichever ship you get that more frequently with. Okay? You put your does on Rhode Island and Whiskey, then double them into Midway and Des Moines. That's okay. Although I don't think you're going to get much out of the does on Midway. So let's take a look at that. So let me go to my Midway. And let me put the screen off for you guys. Now, if I were to put... actually, let me go to a carrier. A premium carrier. That's easier. Because then I don't have to worry about retraining. So we're going to put Halsey. And you'll see that Halsey doesn't get any buff talents. Or buff skills. He can still proc the talents with him, but because he doesn't get the buff skills, to me that is inefficient. Okay, if I were to change this to one of the does, where's my doge? Where's my doge? Where's my doge? Where's my doge? I hate how there's like the two. There we go. Okay, you see how there's no buff talents prior assist on this, so. That's why I don't think you want to put a doe on this carrier. It's not going to help. Okay. Um, it might as well be a regular captain. And these captains are so special because of their buffed talents. In my opinion, you're really missing out. So I don't think it's a good idea to put and this is the reason why we're having this Zath chat. Okay. Um, yes, exactly. Ovechkin is a better choice for carriers if you have him. A lot of players nowadays don't have him if they've started afterwards. Ovechkin on the B-52 or B-25s, yes, right. So for my midway, for example, I'm going to recall my commander. Look, it's Ovechkin, okay, because he's got boost survivability expert. Prior put him on a destroyer. You're talking about the does? Here's the problem with putting a doe on a destroyer. Let me go to my... Forrest Sherman is fine. Let's go to my Forrest Sherman. And let's go ahead and let's put one of the does on here. Here. The guy that's on the thing. And what do you have? You get buffed Grease the Gears and you get buffed Gunfeeder. How often do you change ammo types in American destroyers? How often do you take Grease the Gears in American destroyers? Their turret traverse is fine. You don't need the buffed skills. So, yes, you'll get some benefit from them in destroyers, but it's not necessary. Okay? These guys, the does specifically, are best suited for playing battleship or heavy cruiser. Battleship or heavy cruiser. You put your 19-point Yamamoto in Shokaku because you wanted to use the grind to boost him to 21. Until then, he'd been assigned to Hashidate and simply going around all the premiums. You might as well put him in something that was getting work. Sure, that's fine. But Yamamoto, I would also recommend someplace else. But anyways, so now that I've described that to you guys, and because I don't want the Zath chat to take forever, we're going to just kind of chill in spreadsheets here for a bit. The only benefit that these is that these are likely to be your 21-point captains. That's right, Flint. But the problem I'm seeing a lot of people when I'm looking at a lot of replays, the problem that I'm seeing is that a lot of people are putting their captains on a premium ship because they don't want to move them around. And because of that, they have tons of captains that are like 15 points, but they don't have anybody that's a 21-point captain when they could have a 21-point captain if they would just optimize their build, like what people go where. So me personally, my recommendation is you put Halsey on the Des Moines. You could also put him on Annapolis. Again, whatever you're going to get your Confederate the most frequently with, that's where you're going to want to put Halsey. Okay. Halsey, by the way, could also benefit in destroyers if you get a double strike because that helps with your concealment. How often do you get double strikes in your destroyer? Also, it does help with. I suppose it does help with if you get the Confederate, you get the boost to reload and stuff. So that's kind of fun too. You've done what I'm doing, only integrated with ship tracking sheet. Use Buffalo on the ship. Yeah, that's fine. So the does, like I said, I would use one on Montana. I'd use another one on Vermont. Hey, Panoramics. Now, if you are not a battleship player and you don't want to put them on here, like I said, put these guys on other American heavies, like the Annapolis or something like that, and you're fine. Or if you're, let's say, a destroyer, main or whatever, and you want to put Halsey on gearing, fine. Okay? Whatever you want to do. But see, here's the thing. Halsey, you can do that same build that applies to these premiums. But wait, there's more. I'm going to put another column over here called additional premiums. Here's the part that everybody forgets. Here's the part that everybody forgets. I'm going to share with you right now. I told you that my Halsey is built for Des Moines, right? But you'll notice that I can put Halsey on my Forrest Sherman, which is a premium destroyer. It's a premium destroyer. Okay? You can take your Halsey and you can put him on a premium for each class of ship and have a build for that. So if I wanted to, I could take Halsey and put him on a premium destroyer. I can take Halsey and go for historical accuracy and put him on the Enterprise. And have a carrier build for him if I want to. See? Boom. This is something that everybody forgets. And this is why I tell people, commanders are so more important than ships because they enable you to do so much more with the ships that you currently have. Okay? I can take Halsey, and I can also put Halsey on premium battleships. I can put it on a Keksarge if I wanted to. Here, change commander. Halsey. There you go. Battleship commander. So you can say, on the spreadsheet, you can say, okay, I also want to put my Halsey on certain battleships. Now, again, it comes down to what kind of battleships you play more. Do you play more secondary spec, or do you play, because there's two different battleship builds to think about, right? So if I wanted to do secondary, I can do secondary BB, parentheses, that's going to be Massachusetts, right? That's going to be Massa B. That's going to be Ohio. That's going to be Georgia, right? Am I forgetting any? You could have a secondary built Florida if you want. You could have a secondary built California if you want, right? So you can put all of these other ones out there. I have not seen Clyde's commander spreadsheet, Dr. Schatz. No. If he does it and he's doing a better job than I do, then fine. Rhode Island technically has improved secondary. So if you want to have a Rhode Island with a secondary BB build, fine. And here's the thing. Here's Oklahoma. Okay. Here's the thing. You can build a secondary battleship right there, and then take a look. Your DOE, let's say your DOE, you want to have a standard survivability battleship build, right? So what premiums are you going to put here? You're not going to use them on the secondary battleships. You're going to use them on Alabama. You're going to use it on anything else that you would play as a primarily regular style battleship, right? Kearsarge, if you don't have any special build for that. Let's say you want to have a non-secondary built Florida, right? Non-secondary build Rhode Island. And this is the thing. This gives you the flexibility to then say, okay, I'm going to put these on different ships, and I'm going to go ahead and play around with it. It's so helpful. People don't understand that, though. Amount of Elite Commander XP it takes to build the top up, it takes a while, yes. So if you're doing it this way, you're only working up 2-3 captains, and then you're putting them in these other premium ships while you're doing it. So you're helping the captain in whatever tech tree ship that you're grinding, right? And then you're also then putting him in the other ones. And so you're getting the benefit from these commanders all over the place. So you can do this. And then additional premiums. So we've got secondary battleship build. You can have them on a premium destroyer, although frankly, I wouldn't put them there because Ovechkin is going to do a better job there. If you have Ovechkin. If you don't, fine, put them on a premium destroyer. Put them on other one, you know? You can have fun with that. So there's a lot of flexibility involved when it comes to putting this kind of stuff together. But it takes a little bit of time to just take yourself out of the game and organize yourself. And I would recommend you do this for all of your captains that have buffed skills, okay, and talents, especially the legendary commanders, because these are most important, okay? Ovechkin, one of them should be on Midway or any of those lines because you get buffed survivability expert, and then the other one should be on gearing. You could put it on the super ship variant. You can whatever you want. These are tier 10s, but you can put them on the supers if you play the supers more frequently. Whatever you play the most, that's where you want to put them. A lot of times I like putting it in a tier 10 because most times clan battles are tier 10, right? And also ranked is typically tier 10 and competitions are tier 10, blah 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 blah. So I would recommend you set him up something like this, okay? And then Ovechkin, because of the buffed survivability expert, then you can say, okay, well, this goes on my other carriers, right? So I can put him on my Saipan, my Hornet, my Enterprise, yada 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 yada. Okay, now you could also say I'm gonna put it on the Essex line, and that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with the Essex line. Um, Ovechkin works well. So if you're a destroyer main, you're gonna definitely want to put one of them on the gearing probably. If you're a carrier main, you might put one on each line as you want. Okay. You support putting Halsey in anything they consistently get the achievements which proc. Exactly, that's what I said earlier. But even if you don't get the achievements, Halsey still has the buffed talent, or sorry, the buffed commander skills, which will improve the combat characteristics of all these other premium ships. So we can put them on battleships. Like I said, you could put them in other classes too. You can put Halsey on if there's a premium. There's no premium American subs, right? No, the Gato. You could put them on the Gato, but I wouldn't, you know. But you guys get the idea here. For Japanese, I heard somebody saying that Cthulhu, you said Yamamoto, you put him on your Shokaku. Now, I would highly recommend you put Yamamoto on. Let me back up. Yamamoto gets a talent from Kraken and from First Blood. So, what are you going to get your First Blood with, and what are you going to kill 5 ships with in a game? Okay? Whatever you do that mostly with, that's where you're going to want to put Yamamoto. Some people say, okay, well, that's going to be my Yamato. You could do that. You could do that. Personally, I have mine assigned to Kitakaze. Why? Because I reset the Japanese gunboat line all the damn time. So for me, it makes sense to put Yamamoto on the Kitakaze because I play that more than any other destroyer. Your answer to that, premium destroyers. Well, see, here's the thing. Now that I've got him on Yamamoto, I can put him on the Star Kitakaze, premium, DDs, blah blah. I'm not gonna type it all out, but again, you can go right here, go to Kitakaze, right? Applies to Harakaze, and what is this Haragamo? Okay, fine. So there you go, premium destroyers, like. Now you can also then put him on premium battleships. That's correct. So you can have him set for premium BBs, like I don't know, Issei. What else is there? Arpeggio Yamato. This is one of the nicest things about the Arpeggio Yamato that people haven't thought about is now you can get the experience of having Yamamoto on a Yamato and the premium version of it, right? Um, Key. You can put them on all of these other Musashi. Yeah, if you've got the Musashi, perfect. That works. Exactly. Okay? Musashi Key. And then you can also, I like to have Yamamoto on my premium cruisers as well, my premium heavy cruisers, like my Atago, for example. He's ridiculous when you get a Kraken in an Atago. So you put him on the premium heavy cruisers, okay? Now, do you want to put him on a premium carrier? Probably not. Probably not. You could use him on a Yoshino. Yeah, that's a premium. Tago. Yoshino. There you go. You put him on all those, okay? Now, I wouldn't recommend putting him on battleship or on carriers or destroyers. Why? Because you've got Renzo, Suzuki, and I don't remember the name of the other one off the top of my head. You guys remember the other Suzuki's name? Let me go to the armory and check. Sea shanties are sounding good this afternoon. Absolutely. Where are they? Where are they? Raizo. It's Raizo, not Renzo. Raizo and Takeo Suzuki. Okay. Raizo and Takeo. Both the Suzukis, and people forget about these guys because they kind of got added a little bit late. These guys are best suited for destroyers and carriers, just like Ovechkin, because they have a buff to survivability expert. Okay, that comes in very handy. They also have a buff to emergency repair specialist if you want to use them on a battleship, I suppose. But I would probably put Suzuki. One of them would go on my Hakuryu, or obviously you could put it on the super ship variant. And the other one I would probably put on my Shimakaze. Yeah, I'd probably put him on Shimakaze, or you could put him on the Harugumo if you want, right? Your Cole Suzuki went to Hakuryu. There you go. What's up, Taro? So I would probably put him like that. And there's no other Japanese special commanders, right? I don't think there are. Oops. Um, but yeah, so that's what I would do with my commanders. And if you want to track their points, you can too, whatever. But at the very least, I would sit down and say, where am I going to put these captains? That gets me good use. What should we do next? How about the Germans? German is KMS. So for the Germans, you have Lutyens. There's the Chang'e commander who can share between Pan Asia and Japan, but no special skills. There's a couple like that, right? And so Cthulhu, you could incorporate that as well on the Japanese. I don't remember what her name is, and can you even buy her in the armory? I don't think so. No, I don't think you can. Um, so anyways, you could definitely further optimize by doing that. But I gotta say, focus on the ones that have the buffed skills and talents first. So Lutyens, fantastic on any tech tree ship. You can put Lutyens on carrier. You can put them on battleship. You can put them on secondary battleship. You can put them on destroyer. He's fantastically flexible. You can put him on whatever you want. Seasoned and unique, exactly. That's what we're talking about, okay? That's what you should do. You should take some time and organize your seasoned and unique cards. So, Lutyens. For me, I have him assigned to my Z52. But you could absolutely put him on something else. If I were to do this again, I'm putting him on Schlieffen. Okay, Schlieffen is probably where he's best. He's got buffed turret traverse, which isn't as important. The big thing though is his buffed preventative maintenance. It keeps his secondaries alive, keeps the main battery alive, keeps the torpedoes alive. So I would absolutely put Lutyens on Schlieffen, and because you're going to build him for secondary spec, then here you're going to put him on secondary BBs, right? So you're going to say, okay, I'm going to throw Lutyens on my secondary battleships. So that would be, Tirpitz, for example, Odin. What's the tier 7? Prince Heinrich, right? AL Prince Heinrich.
Pommern.
Pommern. You guys, I don't need to type out the whole thing. You guys get the idea. Any secondary battleship that's a premium, you want to put Lutyens on. If you've got the Schlieffen build on him already, you pretty much have the same damn build. So it's nice to be able to put him on that. Well, and see, here's the thing about Lutyens. What I just said, he's great on every single ship, right? So what you do then is you have a cruiser build. Now, you have to decide, do you want him on a heavy cruiser or a light cruiser? Okay, you need to make that determination because that does have an impact in how you choose to build him out. But okay, let's say because you're using Aegir, and I think I have my Lutyens on Aegir as well. So I would definitely put him on Aegir, or um, shoot. Now I'm like Prince Eugen, right? Prince Eugen, because it's got the heal and stuff. It's a fantastic ship. Um, Now you can also say, okay, I want to put them on premium destroyers like the TED 61. Works great. Works great. TMNT, right? You can put Luyens on the mines, but that's a light cruiser. So if you're going to put Luyens on the mines, and you know what, to be quite honest, you're probably right, TMNT. He's probably going to be better on a light cruiser because a light cruiser spams the shell hits more, and that will get you the proc of his talent much sooner with the main guns. Exactly. So let's say that mines is a great idea. And back when when you can choose what operation you're on, and you're going to go and farm Narai for the 250th time. He's perfect there, isn't he? Right? So you could put him in light cruisers. You could put him on destroyers. CV. Graf Zeppelin. Right? You could put him on the Graf Zeppelin. You could put him on Maximum. Right? You could put him on any of the other ones. Weimar, Wiesbaden. Exactly right, Rob. So you put him on all these light cruisers that spam shells. For a destroyer, you're probably not going to get the shell hits, but you might get the proc a heal from spotting things, and of course that helps. For carrier, you want to proc the regeneration of planes very quickly, so you put them on the Graf Zeppelin. You can, because what you do is you keep the rockets, and I've done that a few times when I've talked about Graf Zeppelin games. I've said, hey, you want to put him on the Graf Zeppelin, and you want to use the rockets as much as possible to start, because that encourages you to proc. What about a Schroeder? Schroeder's going to be a different spec, right? Because you're probably going to put Pack a Punch on and that sort of thing. So you're probably not going to put Luyens on a Schroeder. Or you could. Again, the thing that's so nice about Luyens is he's so great at you put him on whatever ship that you want to use all the time, right? So for me, his build, like I play mostly secondary battleships, and I play German destroyers with Hydro. So that's why I have him on Z52. You can put him anywhere though. Um, and then the thing though is that if you do that with Luyens, now you're probably not going to use that with mines. I mean, you could. Mines with Pack a Punch in an operation can be very handy, but you know, whatever. What else do we have for the Germans? We've got the Jutland. We've got Franz von Jutland and Reinhard von Jutland. Franz von Jutland. Reinhard von Jutland. Now, these guys, what do? They have buff vigilance and consumable specialist. So immediately that tells me, okay, I'm going to want to put him on a ship if I'm going to use vigilance. Most people don't bother using vigilance, but vigilance is a really good skill to have, and it works with Hydro because vigilance allows you to spot torpedoes at 35% better acquisition range, and that works with Hydro. So you probably want to put your von Jutland on the standard German BB line because they get Hydro built in. The German Doe brothers, right? Exactly. So you could put them on that, or if you don't have Luyens, and there's the problem with putting him on the Schlieffen is that there's just no room in the Schlieffen build, right? If I go over here and show you guys the Schlieffen build, there's absolutely no room to put it on there, right? Now, if you were to put a Preußen, right? Here's the Preußen. You'd have to give up turret reverse for vigilance essentially, or make up your own other build. But for Schlieffen, the build is so specific, you really don't want to put the von Jutlands on those. So a standard battleship is fine if you're going to use the vigilance. If you're not using vigilance, don't bother. The other one he gets is consumable specialist. This is, I think, a bigger deal for cruisers, right? So you would definitely want to put I'm going to say standard battleship or CACL. Okay, and the same thing is going to be the case for von Jutland. So you're going to go down, the German heavy cruiser line. You're going to put them on, let's say, a Hindenburg, for example, wouldn't be a bad idea. Anything where you really say to yourself, "Gee, I really wish I could use my consumable sooner." Um, you know. Now, if you're using Lutyens for a light cruiser like the Mines and the Wiesbaden, like you were talking about earlier, Rob, you probably aren't going to put the von Jetland on Wiesbaden, but it could help because it allows you to get your smoke back sooner. So these are the kinds of things that you think about, how do we utilize these abilities and how can we put them on as many different ships as possible? I don't think there's any other special Germans, right? Um, I just realized I probably could have done this all in one tab, might have been easier, but I thought it might look prettier. I'm not a spreadsheet person, y'all. And then obviously the Von Jutlands go on whatever other ships. So you could put them on a premium cruiser. You could put them on. It doesn't really help having them on a premium destroyer. And frankly, Lutyens is going to do a better job anyways. So it's basically premium cruisers that you don't use Lutyens on. And maybe light cruisers that you don't use Lutyens on because they have a special build, like Schroeder. But I understand people like Schroeder because it's got the secondaries and you can proc the secondaries and the primaries with the Schroeder. So sure, if you prefer Schroeder here, you can do a Schroeder specific build, and then here's where you put your light cruiser mines and Wiesbaden, whatever else. I don't know. You get the idea. Um, what's another nation we should do next, y'all? Let's do the Russians, the Soviets. Soviet line. Oh, BMF. I'll just do SOV for Soviet. So for this one, you've got Kuznetsov. Use Lutyens on mines and Schroeder. Fair enough. You can get away with the same build. You can get away with the same build. It's just you're forced to use pack a punch. So you have to build that into the mines. What's up, NC fan? All right, so Kuznetsov, and then you've got the Zemenskys, Victor and Vasily. I spell that right? Yeah. Pack a punch kind of sucks on Schroeder. Well, you know, repping the yes. Well, most people don't know VMF, so that's why I'm just putting Soviet up here. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're not going to use pack a punch on the Schroeder, fine. Um, then you can use the same build on the mines and all that. Anyway, Kuznetsov, I like to call him Opizov. Some people call him Krutsov because he's so powerful with his talent of if I'm about to die, oh, haha, I didn't die. Which kind of battleship is superior, fast or brick? And why is it fast? Prior sys, both battleship lines have their positives to them. So making it go a lot longer just gets you detected sooner. The secondaries? I'm pretty sure for Schroeder, your secondary range is the same as your concealment or close to it. But anyways, that's a different topic. So Kuznetsov, the one place that you're going to want to put him is going to be on the Kremlin. No other place is better than the Kremlin for Kuznetsov because, and I will tell you, I tried him on Grozovoy for a while. The problem is that it's too easy to get yourself yeeted before his talent procs that starts the passive heal. So he's not good on those ships. You could put him instead if you don't play the battleship line a lot and you play cruisers a lot. You could instead put him on Petropavlovsk. If you put him on the Petro, that's fine too. Okay. It's really up to you which of those the two lines you put him on. But I don't think I'd put him on anything else, frankly. If you put him on the Kremlin, obviously you're gonna build him for ships like Lenin, other premium Soviet battleships. Okay, um, Azure Lane, Sovietsky, Rossiya, spelling, whatever. Or if you put them on the Petro, then you can also use them on any of the premium Soviet heavy cruisers like Moskva or Stalingrad, right? Um, Interestingly enough, guess what? You can put them on both of these and it's fine. So I'm going to do this actually while I'm thinking about it. I'm just going to put that. So I'm going to say BBs and parentheses. I got, like I said, I'm not much of a spreadsheet person. And then you're going to want to put them on the super cruisers like Moskva and Stalingrad. Who would you where? So I have mine on the Kremlin. If you honestly, it comes down to which of these two you're going to play more frequently. For competitive players, they're probably going to put them on Petro because they're probably going to play more Petro than they will play Kremlin in competitive environments, right? In clan battles, for example. Though keep in mind, the talent doesn't proc in clan battles, so that's kind of a wash, I suppose. Um, so actually, Zemensky, I think, is a better choice for a for competitive cruiser. Now you do also get enhanced consumables specialist, so that with Kuznetsov, so that would help for Petro, right? You can definitely do that if you're the kind of person that likes to push their radar quickly. So the enhanced consumable specialist is useful. Um, Now, you could also put him on destroyers. You said you liked him on Leningrad. Absolutely. You can put him on Leningrad. I was actually going to suggest, if you have it, the Tier 9 Soviet destroyer. I'm trying to, what's the, I'm losing my mind. Starts with an, doesn't start with an N. With the super heal? I, thank you. It does start with an N. Nustra. Yeah, I'm gonna share this spreadsheet. I'll put it in my Discord when this is all done, and then, of course, I'm gonna put this out to YouTube, and I'll put it as a comment there. Thank you guys. So he's great in the new Tsushimi, especially, right? Because it's got the super heal. Pro tip for you all. This is a freebie for you just listening and tuning in. Pro tip for you all. Kuznetsov, his proc happens when he's down to 10% or whatever, maybe it's 5% hit point pool. I don't care. But the point is, you get a passive heal. What you want to do with Kuznetsov, especially, is you want to hold your last heal for that proc specifically. Because when it procs, if you heal at the same time you get the proc heal, you are getting double heal. It makes you extremely hard to kill because you're getting double healed. Okay? So Nustrashimi with the super heal going and that proc heal going. Come at me, bulls. Come at me, bros. Great tip. Exactly. A lot of people don't remember that tip, so that's a good one. That's all for you guys, just for tuning in and listening. Um, is Kuznetsov good on a carrier? Does he have any benefit on carriers? I don't think he does. I mean, obviously, if the carrier's about to get blown up, sure, he gets that. Actually, no. If you get first strike, right? If you get the first kill, first blood, I mean, you do get extra squadron consumables. So he is going to be helpful for that. Oh yeah, Ovechkin. I forgot about that. Ovechkin should 100% be set to um, the the Soviet carrier line. Which I'm sorry guys, I'm just blanking today. I don't know why I'm blanking so much on this. Um, but anyways, I would definitely put him on the Soviet carrier line. Okay. Let me go to my tech tree. It's just easier if I have that pulled up. Newer players won't have Ovechkin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, let's see. What knock him off. I don't know why I just I don't know why I just blanked on that. Um, or destroyers. Yeah, you can put Kuznetsov on destroyers and stuff. But Ovechkin, you want to put on Nakimov, or you'd want to put on one of the destroyers. You would probably want to put Nakima or Ovechkin on whichever of the two destroyer lines you play most. Okay, so for example, me, I love playing the Soviet gunboat destroyers. So the Kiev, the Tashkent. I rarely play. Here's the problem: I rarely play the tier 10 because the Khabarovsk. Well, the Khabarovsk isn't even is now not even the end of the tech tree line. It's the Delny now. So you could put him on the Delny, I suppose, or you could put him on the super ship variant of it, whatever. But Ovechkin is good for that. You're wasting your Ovechkin on your Minnesota. Yes, absolutely, 100% you are. I mean, this is why we're having the chat, right? This is why we're having the chat. One of my minions has been trying to wrangle oven chicken for years. Can't be done. But they could make an analog. They could. They absolutely could. And they should, probably. So, Ovechkin, I'm going to put Ovechkin above. I'm going to put Ovechkin above the Zelenskys because, frankly, that's where he should be, right? He's more important than the Zelenskys. So, I would put him up there. Now, you could make the argument that Ovechkin is good for destroyers as well, the premium destroyers like Nusushimi. Um, but Kuznetsov's little bonus heal might come in more handy. So it comes down to where you want to, to put him. But in any case, you would definitely want to have a build for um, uh, Kaklov. I can't remember how to spell it. Can I see it on here? CH. No, whatever. You whatever. You get the idea. Okay. You want to put him on premium carriers like the Chocolov and whatever else comes up later because of the buff to the survivability. That comes in very handy. Um, so now let's take a look at the Zelenskys. The Zelenskys maybe aren't as helpful as others. These are commanders that personally I haven't even optimized myself. Um, so bad Zath because I'm not practicing what I preach here, and I apologize for that. But Zemensky gets buff grease the gears, buff preventative maintenance, um, and whoa, wait, buff preventative maintenance. Holy crap! I didn't even think about that. Okay, and then buffed emergency repair specialist. So that means you could, yeah, you could also use it for premium subs like the S189. Sure, you could do that. So Zemensky, if it's got buffed preventative maintenance, immediately I'm thinking destroyer line. This is going to be good for either of them, and maybe what I should do is put Zemensky's on each destroyer. You could do that, or if you want to use the buffed grease the gears talent, you could definitely put him on cruiser. So I'm going to put it like this. I would put it on Petro/Kremlin. Whichever tech tree ship you don't put Kuznetsov on is where you'd want to put one of the Zelenskys. Great for low tier Soviet destroyers. That is true. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Carpenter. Rob, let's do a draw. It's been a bit. Um, so Zemensky, I would take Zemensky and I would put uh what's the damn tier 5 Soviet destroyer that everybody always said was overpowered as all F and really isn't that great anymore? Demosor, congratulations. Um I'm sorry guys, I'm just blanking with names right now. Demosor's here, good. Um but you know what I'm talking about. Gremiashi. That's what it is, Gremiashi. Right? Gremiashi's got terrible turret traverse. So having a captain with a buffed turret traverse really fixes one of the biggest problems with that ship, right? Rob, go ahead and start up another one when you get a chance. I'm getting Stream Raiders going. All right. So that's Gremiashi. Other premiums, you know, you could have a Moskva. But here's the thing: Kuznetsov is so much better because of its talent. You're probably not going to put him on. You're probably going to put Kuznetsov on all your ships that you can, right? So Gremiashi, I think, is a unique example here. Lucifer Sam, thank you for the follow. And Ovechkin is going to handle many of the other ones like Leningrad and stuff like that. So, these guys you're probably going to put on some of the less popular, you know, destroyers, things that maybe are more unique that you have to have a special build for, something like that, right? Special skills proc in ranked, yes. The you're talking about the talents of Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov's talents proc and ranked and randoms. Then the skills themselves, they are always available. So you can do clan battles and you have the buffed um, survivability expert of Ovechkin. Same thing with tournaments, right? In the training room. It's why I always say if everybody gets all of the um, press accounts with all these captains on it, why aren't you using the captains with the buffed talent in a competitive environment, right? So Zmensky, yeah, I would put him on a destroyer, um, or again, whichever ship here you didn't put him on, or let's say you just love the line. Let's say you love playing Vladivostok at tier 8, and you've got Kuznetsov on Kremlin. Then here you can put him on Vladivostok. Please don't feel like this is the only way to do it, but use the concepts that we're talking about here when it comes to choosing where you're gonna put who you're gonna put where. I'm gonna call this USSR because that's what the tech tree calls it. All right, what should we do next? French? Let's do French. Let's do French. If you guys are feeling bored, let me know and we can absolutely change things around. Want to say about commander ships over values until you have enough tech tree ships, you won't be losing commander XP. You will be losing. Wait. Until you have enough tech tree ships, you'll be losing commander XP. Here's the deal. I would argue the opposite is the case, or more important. It's more important to get. No, I think it's more important to get your commanders first. Get your commanders first because you can move your commanders if you would like. You can move your commanders up the tech tree as you go. It also slows you down and it forces you to play other ships. The way that I ground these ship lines is I always played 1 win a day on tech tree ships, and then I played 1 win a day on premium ships with the commanders of those tech tree ships that I was grinding. That's how I always did it. And so to me, the special commander becomes very useful early. It doesn't have to cost commander XP. It could be free, and then you can grind out the commander XP over time. You don't have to spend the commander XP to move captains. Anyways, so yeah, so I would say when you're a newer player and you don't have a lot of ships, the commanders are still important because you can use those to buff the tech tree ships that you're working up, and then every little. No, you don't, Stockman. Every little every premium ship you get becomes more important. Here, let me show you. I'm gonna go to German, and I'm going to go to my German battleship Schlieffen. Where are you? There you are. These came out after Lutyens was already there, but I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say, all right, I want to put Lutyens. I'm gonna move Lutyens on there. Look, free retraining. You can use doubloons, you can use Elite Commander XP, you can do it for free. Free obviously means you're going to have to grind out a lot of Commander XP, so... But frankly, that's how I did it when I was grinding all my ship lines. Guys, you don't get all these doubloons by spending them in the game. Okay? Nowadays, I spend the Elite Commander XP because I got so much. But back in the day, I did the free option always, and I reground them. You're not going to notice the time that you lose doing that. But anyways, if you want to be very hyper sensitive with your with moving commanders and optimizing, if you will, your commander XP, yes, it's best to just put them on the tech tree that you want them to end on and live on and be done with it. But for people that are working on, yes, for free, you basically lose the commander until it's retrained. Yes. And how you retrain for 300k? I retrain level 21 for 700. I don't know. Is that a part of the event pass here? Is that one of the benefits of the event pass? Why Kuznetsov is still on yours? Yeesh. Um, it used to be that they gave you certain benefits, or maybe that's a benefit for me because I'm a CC or something, or maybe that's a super tester I don't know. Hi, Steven DeJeep. But if it's 700k for you to retrain a level 21 captain, then so be it. I don't know. I don't know, but we're going beyond the scope of the Zath chat. I want to keep focus on that because we got a lot more to talk through. Unless, like I said, if you guys are getting bored, um, Armory. Your commodity totals indicate what is possible to accumulate with thrifty choices, and by accumulating ships commanders wisely over time, mature and decently sized fleet of ships personnel can provide a lot of right tool for the job situations. Yes, absolutely. It's 300k for you as well, Rob. Okay. Um. All right. Commanders. I gotta go back to commanders. Every time I go back to commanders, I see Booba. I'm great, not bored. Okay, cool. I'll keep going then. Thank you guys. The French commander, Abanu. I gotta pull it up because you can't buy him in the armory. You get him through the containers or whatever. I have to put him on a ship or figure out what ship I have him on. Abanu. I think I have him on my Kleber. No, I have him. I have Honore on Kleber. I don't know what I put Abanu on. Let me just go into my tech. Okay. Yeah, he's on Kleber. Okay, I have two different Kleber builds. That's why. All right. Philippe Abanu. I'm spelling that wrong. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. No. Okay. You've used him on Baron a few times. Hmm. Is he in the armory? Am I that blind that I didn't see him in the armory? Under commanders? Like I said, I'm having a very off day, so oh my god, I'm an idiot. It's right there. Jesus. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Um Anyways, so up on you, he's got special talents, right? He's got a talent of increasing flood chance or fire chance if he gets a key area or assists in capturing one. So that lends itself very well to playing destroyers, especially like in a ranked environment. Surge forward, if you take 2 million HP of potential damage, your ship speed increases to 8%. That's not as great. Rampant, because it is hard to proc, can be activated multiple times in battle, and that's a devastating strike. So I will say, Abanu lends itself well to the French destroyers because of the fact that you can get a cap and then boost your fire and flood chance, and then if you get a dev strike with your really good torpedoes, boom, there you go. And you might be good in the new French uh, early access destroyers as well. But we'll see. Um, so, anyways, he's got enhanced survivability expert, and then he's got enhanced and yeah, okay, survivability expert. So, He's honestly great in the Kleber, and that's where I'd recommend you put him. Um, obviously Mogador and other ships like that are fine too. You absolutely want to put him on other premium ships out there, depending on how you do it. So you could say, okay, I'm going to put him on, battleships like the Burgon, for example. Okay, you could put him on heavy cruisers. Are there any premium French heavy cruisers? Yes, there's a couple of them, right? For example, the Tier 6 that just recently came out, the Duplex, right? He'd be fine for that. You're not going to get 2 million potential damage at tier whatever. It is 300k for you too. Okay. Um, so you know, um, you can put him on Kleber. If you're going to go for the survivability expert part and you're going to go for potential damage, he's also really great on an Henri. He's also really good on an Henri for that. Um, but I think he's still probably going to be best suited for this. Now, Shats, you bring up a good point. Um, there's a caveat with Abanu for battleships. You can possibly get the Dev Strike proc off of him, but to me, I think there's a better captain for battleships and for cruisers. So I think for me, I just have Abanu on my destroyers and that's it. And that's going to be the Honore. So we've got, um, what is it? Isn't it Jean-Jacques Honore? Let's see. That's the one that you get the alternate way because you can't get him for coal. There's Charles Henry Honore. I'm just gonna call him Honore and Honore and just be done with it. Honore 1 and 2. It's easier than spending the time to type it out. Um, so the Honores are really nice because they get buff grease the gears and they get buffed adrenaline rush. Both of these are skills that you're going to want to use on battleships, right? Um, or on heavy cruisers. So I would absolutely put him on the Henri, or I would put him on you could put him like on the battleship line. So um I'm drawing a blank on that one too. The Republic. Okay. And then you could put him on the other. Now the nice thing about doing it like this is that then you can have, and this is the other part of the chat that other people we didn't really highlight on too much, but if you're here, you can have one of them that's a standard BB build, right? And chats, you mentioned Jean Bart and Strasbourg. Yes, I would absolutely say those would be good. Excuse me, with an honore. So I'm just gonna put standard BB, and then of course you could have one that's a standard battleship and one that's a secondary battleship build. And that comes in really handy, right? Um, Another idea to split the ships of the same class into groups, like Burgon and Jean Bart and Strasbourg are one group. Because it's, yeah, exactly. It all comes down to how you set your ships up. And if you're using the same setup or a very similar setup, you can get away with putting these dudes with the better talents on these various ships. One of them absolutely should be on the Henri. Marceau with the buffed adrenaline rush is just redonkulous here, right? As an additional premium. Um, uh, what's the French light cruiser tier 10 that John the Ruthless got 500 or whatever thousand damage in? Colbert, right? Yes, and because of the fact that you have a premium version, you can absolutely have um, Kleber CLR. Right, the CLR, and that's one of the nice things about it is you can put them on other things. Um, so, anyways, And the Colbert is going to be a different build than an Henri. So if I'm putting this on here, and Republique probably you don't want for secondaries. So I'm probably going to say like I might do it like this. You see what I mean? Yeah, light cruiser. So this way now I've got for here I can say heavy CAs. If I don't want to use Abanu, I have the Henri build that I can just copy and pasta to the duplex, to the other French heavies, and then maybe Honore 1 goes to my light cruisers. Why not put Abanu on Marceau and all other destroyers? It comes down to what you value more, Shats. So for Marceau specifically, you're probably going to be out there shooting your main guns at medium to long range more frequently. Well, I mean, you're going to do it with Kleber too, I suppose. The reason I'm saying it this way is if you want the buffed Adrenaline Rush, then obviously you need to put him in an honor. If you want the skills and talents, then you're going to put him on Abanu. Abanu isn't going to work so well, for example, in a competitive environment like clan battles or King of the Sea kind of deals because his talents will not proc. Only the buffed skills that he has, which is the buff survivability expert, will work. Okay. I need to put Baron on there because it helps his with the carrier too. So it just comes down to what do you value more? And with Abanu and Honore, there's that trade-off. Do you want the buffed Adrenaline Rush or do you want the buff survivability expert in an event where you can't proc the talents? That's why you will typically see Honore being used on Marceau in like King of the Sea or on a Clay Bear. Hello, BBT. I think that's it for the French commanders. I don't believe there's any other ones. Shall we do British next? And by the way, keep asking if you got questions. Ask away. Ask away. Let's go to British. Rename. Bra. We'll just do no, wait. What am I thinking? What's the Royal Navy designation? I mean, it's HMS, but isn't it thank you. Thank you. All right, rename, so we'll call that RN. What do you think, Captain recommendations by Yura? I haven't looked at those. I'll just call it Brit, so it's easier for people. Andrew Cunningham. I don't really look at other people's much. I have the document that I use, and that's really about it. And then we've got the two Dunkirks, right? We've got Bert. I'm just going to call it Dunkirk 1 and Dunkirk 2, just to make things easier for us. Okay? LZN, Lord Zath Navy. That's right. Not to be confused with... Right, I know. See, that's kind of the reason why I'm trying to come up with a easier thing. Lucky Jack Aubrey, thank you very much for the follow. Love the name. It's a great series. I haven't gotten around to reading the books, but I love the movie. So, Cunningham. Cunningham is an interesting choice because Cunningham has skills that are good depending on how you're going to use them. So let's go over his talents. If he gets a Witherer, he gets a bonus to reload. A Witherer. If you can get 4 floods, then you will boost your ship or aircraft squadron speed. And for equipment, if you get 2 kills, you get extra consumables. Now, these are extra ship consumables, and that's a very important distinction. You don't get extra aircraft consumables. Now, Cunningham does have enhanced skills as well, aircraft armor and consumables specialist. Okay? Now, I have him. I like to put him on ships that I know I'm going to get a Witherer in, and something I'm probably going to get 2 kills. And having an extra consumable, especially an extra heal, comes in really, really handy. And so the way that I built my Cunningham, and things have changed a little bit since I built my Cunningham, is I put him on Conqueror. Exactly right. Exactly right. Big O. I put him on the Conqueror. Simboto, it does. Put it in twice. It'll say you can't use it more than once. It's just that stupid error that started with the last patch. So I would put him on. I would put him on the Conqueror. You could make the argument for putting him on the Daring. I'm gonna put slash Daring and then slash Audacious. I'm also gonna put slash Minotaur because honestly, you can get away with putting him on any of those ships. Am I part of the STA? I'm a super test coordinator. Although I don't necessarily know if I'll be tuning into any of the STAs. I'll try to drop in and say hi, but it depends. You know, I've got streaming, I've got my other job, my main job now, so it's kind of tough. Yes, I'm for North America. Yeah. With the addition of subs, you can possibly. Oh, that's true, Big O. That's true. So okay, fine. Let's add a Thrasher to that. Although, frankly, the British subs are so garbage compared to the other ones. I don't know. And you can make the argument you could put them on the German subs with Lutyens as well and Halsey on Americans. I just don't think it's as useful. For me, I think Conqueror is going to be the best place. If you're a destroyer main, some people love putting him on Daring because you can get the 4 torpedoes very easily and that helps you be faster. You get the idea. Oh, I didn't even. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. You can get 4 floods because of subs. You can depth charge him. So, um, so anyways, Audacious is good too with as a carrier. That's fine. So for premiums, Cunningham, I have him on my Belfast. So I have him primarily built for light cruisers for my Belfast. I guess technically you can put him on heavy cruiser line too. I'm going to put that above the Minotaur because I think that's a better choice. Actually, I'm going to put above Audacious, Goliath, because it's easy to farm Withers with Goliath, and then you get the extra super heal out of it too. So with 2 kills. Hi, Jer. So yeah, I would definitely put him on Belfast. Um, and then of course you can put him on other premiums. So for me, if I've got him on Conquer, that means I'm gonna put him on BBs like Thunderer, and you know I'm just gonna put etc. down there. Could you put him on the battle cruiser line too? Yeah, you could. Saint Vincent. There's so many good lines, British lines now. We really need. See ya. We really need more other stuff. It needs a 10-point randomly generated commander. Minotaur, yeah. I mean, you know, the thing about Minotaur is if you can get 4 torpedo hits, you can be faster. And if you get 2 kills, you get the extra radar or smoke, depending on what you choose. And because he's got a buff consumable specialist of 10% consumable prep and reload time, that works well with the Minotaur with the ability to use that radar. So to me, Minotaur, if I'm playing ranked, Minotaur with Cunningham can work, right? And if you can, the problem that I have with my Cunningham is because I have mine built for specifically the Belfast. I'm not, you know, I've got skills on there like what is it? Increased HE damage, right? So that's not optimal on a Minotaur, for example. You'd like to see a German destroyer that wasn't just for memes, Nox? I love my German destroyers. I love the mainline ones with the Hydra. I'm not a big fan of the gunboat destroyers. So anyway, that's where I put Cunningham. And then let's take a look at the Dunkirks. Let's think about the Dunkirks here. There are 2 of them that you get. Although I think, can you get both of them in? No, you can only get one of them in the armory. Bert. But you like them as well, but they aren't comp worthy, especially in very specific circumstances. Yeah, they're great for ranked. They're great for ranked. They're terrible for clan battles, for example. Okay, so Bert Dunkirk gets buffed Grease the Gears, buffed Consumables Specialist, and buffed Consumables Enhancements. Now, that's really important. That means that your consumables recharge faster, but they also last longer. So that would mean for me, I would put one of them on Minotaur. Absolutely put one of them on Minotaur. The other one, um, I would probably put on Conqueror St. Vincent. Whichever one you don't put Cunningham on, I'd probably put him on the other one. So about those light cruiser anti-airships teased. Pretty cool. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Was it just released on a dev blog someplace? I maybe I missed it. But yeah, so I would say because you want the enhanced duration of radar with Burt Dunkirk, that comes in really handy. And then for Conquer, oh, it was on Facebook. Oh, jeez. For Conquer St. Vincent, the buff Grease the Gears comes in really handy for that. Um, oh, full line of okay, much like the Wiesbaden. Okay, so that's another place I suppose you could put Lutyens, but I don't know. I'd still probably leave Munchleaf. So anyway, that's kind of how I would set up my Dunkirks, right? And then you've got Cunningham working on your main battleship line. You know, I don't know that there's any other specific build that you well, St. Vincent Conquerors can have different builds, but here's where you can experiment with setting him on a different battleship, for example. You like him on Ark Royal. You like cutting him on Ark Royal. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna put CV Ark Royal because I mean he's good on other premium carriers too because he gets the buffed aircraft armor, right? Um, and then you can also put him on premium destroy. You're basically gonna put Cunningham on every premium ship you can first, and then go from there. For me, since I have my Cunningham on my Belfast, that means that my Dunkirk one is gonna. If I put him on Minotaur, I'm probably gonna put premium. Oh, I already have premiums in the column, so I'm probably gonna put this one on. I'm gonna have a heavy cruiser build here, right? And then this is gonna be premium light cruisers, probably. It's probably how I would so premium heavies with Dunkirk 2, because I kind of screw myself out. Actually, CL Belfast, this would be non-HE. If I have non-HE firing light cruisers, right? Um, Destroyers are Cunningham. Right? Yeah. And then cruisers really I want for Dunkirk. That's where it's at for that. Um, and then here I would also put premium. Um, you're probably going to be using Cunningham with the premium battleships. See, that's the thing. Cunningham is so good, much like Lutyens. You're going to put them on everything you can, and then these guys are only going to be secondary. You can use these to experiment with like Furious if you want to, and see how that kind of stuff goes. If you'd like, that's fine. But that's probably what I would do for the British. All right, what do we have next? What can we go next? Oh God, you ready for the debate of the life of a lifetime? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go to the debate of a lifetime. Note to self: I'm probably going to end up splitting this talk into multiple videos because I think we're going quite long already. Um, let's go into the Pan EU PDs. I'll just call it Pan EU destroyers. I'm tired of whatever we call it. So we have Jersey Mike. Debate of a lifetime. Yes, that's bait. You're welcome, Javier. So here's the thing about, and I don't think there's any other commanders. Thankfully, no. Unfortunately, as well. Here's the thing. Here's the debate with Swirsky. There are so many good. Actually, just call it Pan EU, not Destroyer. Pan EU. Um, there are so many different choices with Swirsky, and you really have to decide how you want to build him. Okay, do you want to? You're probably going to put him on a Holland. First of all, that's where you're going to put him. There's no other place that you can put him. Okay, you're going to put him on the Holland. Now, you have to decide what kind of build you want on him. Okay, yes, there's also Gdansk. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot. Um, so he's got two talents, right? Torpedoes. Every 8 successful torpedo hits, you get 5% reload time for torpedo tubes. Every 8 torpedo hits. So this is great on a torpedo-focused destroyer. And then there's AA Gun Expert, where you shoot down 20 aircraft and your AA damage increases by 10%. It's nice, but that's not incredibly helpful unless you're playing maybe ranked. And he does come with a buffed Adrenaline Rush skill. So, because of the buffed Adrenaline Rush, a lot of people, thank you, Wolfie, a lot of people like to say that Swirsky is great on a gun build. Okay? So that's why they might put him on Gdansk, because it's a gunboat destroyer. Um, Holland, in my opinion, would be where you'd want to put Swirsky if you're going to make a torpedo-based destroyer build. Okay? Now, this is where it gets really tricky. This is where it gets really tricky. For the premiums that you're going to put on him. If you have the small end, you're probably going to if you're going to want him on small end, you're going to need to build a gun focused captain. You're probably not going to do torpedo based. I've played small end with a torpedo focus. It usually doesn't end well. Now, if you prefer, if you don't have small end, this debate is easier.
Hello
because
there.
then you're going to go ahead and put him on the Jaeger. Okay? But you have to decide, how do you want to build your Swirsky? Gun build or torp build? Okay? Hi, Big O. That's the challenge. Personally, I would go gun build. I'm not a big fan of Jaeger. I know a lot of people love Jaeger and do ridiculous things with Jaeger. It really just comes down to your own preference, okay? And let's see. So additional premiums. Carl Johan is really where the only other one to consider for that one, right? I don't know that there's anything else. I mean, are you gonna put him on the tier 5? I guess you could. Yeah, the Viribus Unitas, exactly. That's. I was just gonna. The problem is if you put him on the Viribus, it's a very different build than the Carl Johan. It's kind of the problem. Orcon. Put him on the Orcon. So if you put him on the Orcon, then that's going to be the gun build, right? Because you don't really build an Orcon for torpedoes. It's more of a gun build, radar, chase things down and gun them in ranked. Orcon's a fine ship. So personally, since I prefer, and this is my personal issue. This is my personal problem. Right now, I have mine. Exactly. That's why I put it over here on the other side of this slash. So for me, my problem is my Swirsky is spec'd to the Holland right now because, of course, I got him before the Gdansk line came out, and now I've got the Gdansk, and I don't know that I want to. I should really just do it and move him over to the Gdansk. But anyways, that's the only option for the Pan Europeans. So that one was quick, but as you can tell, there was a lot to talk about there. All right, let's go and move on to another line. Let's do Italians. My Italian setup is or my Holland is set up for guns. Where is it? There it is. Let's go to the pasta boats. So for the pasta boats, you've got, of course, let me get to his page so I can. Oh, that's right. He's not purchasable, so I have to go into the tech tree and pull it up so I can read off his skills and talents and stuff. Do I have him on my Sicilia? I probably do. No, I don't. Do I have my Giuseppe Verdi? No. Weird. Weird. Where the hell do I have him? Yeah, Cincinnati. I'm trying to think about where I have him. I probably have him on my Polo, right? No? Who is he set to? Ah, okay, he's on my Venezia. All right. Did I spell it right? Yeah, Luigi Sansonetti. So his skills. Let's talk about those real quick here, okay? So he gets rapid fire, which activates when you get a Confederate. He gets far reach, which activates when you get a kill. And then you've got concealed reserves. So you hit enemy ships 100 times with main battery shells, and then you get 10% extra consumable charges. Okay. Yes, there was Dasha, but Dasha doesn't have any boost or whatever. One N, not double. Okay, thank you. So, anyways, he also gets buffed Swift Fish and buffed Gunfeeder, which frankly it's going to be very useful for cruisers especially. Let's see, for destroyers, same skills. For battleships, same skills, which means he only gets buffed. He only gets buffed. Whatchamacallit? Gunfeeder. All right. Anyway, so for me, that tells me he's going to be best for Venezia. Now, you could also make the argument that you want to build him for the Italian destroyer line, right? So you could also say, I'm going to put him on the Italian destroyers because, I'm going to use that for guns and stuff like that. That's the Regolo, right? So you can put him on either. For me, he jives really well with Venezia, and he was designed. He was released with the cruiser line. He jives really well with the Venezia because of the fact that you want the range typically. So when you get the kill, when you get that extra range buff, that helps. That jives really well with Venezia, and you're going to get a lot of shell hits with the Venezia because you've got a lot of turrets, and a lot of guns. Colombo, like Loria, and so Sansonetti. The thing about Sansonetti is you don't have any other. There's no other Italian commanders that are out there. So you're going to put them on every premium that you can, right? So you're going to put them on the BB line, right? So now, and that's why I was surprised I didn't have him on my Giuseppe. I know why I didn't have him on my Giuseppe actually, because you're probably going to put him as a standard BB build for the battleships. By the way, could you use Sansonetti on a battleship? Yes, you could. Um, so you could build them for the Colombo line. Um, Honestly, I don't think it's as useful because the Italian battleships have such terrible accuracy that you don't necessarily want to buff the range on those as much, and you're not like super dependent on it. Yes, there's the Azure Lane, true, but they don't have extra buff skills. So this whole Zat chat is about prioritizing the captains that have skills and talents or talents that are buffed that give you something extra, right? So standard battleships like the Roma, for example. Yeah, if you want a pleasant voice, that's fine too. But that pleasant voice doesn't help you in combat aside from maybe calming you down, or you like to listen to it, or puts you in the zone or something. I don't know. That's fine. So I have mine on Venezia. So do I want to use that Venezia build on other ships? What other ships does Venezia work for? Um, let's see. Venezia. We got that Venezia and that Venezia. Okay. This is with the unique upgrade utilizing the smoke. But I think it's pretty much the same build anyways. So what else does this work for? You can look down here. Look, what is this? Oh, that's the collection. Okay, I see. Priority list for captain. Got it. Okay. Um, Note that you're not going to want to put them on Napoli because Napoli's got a different one. Yeah, yeah. Now I see what you're talking about, chats. I found it. I got it. I'm like, oh, this is nice. So, um, I have that built in and stuff like that. So there you go. And then you've got this listing here, which you can go off of if you want. But anyways, my focus is it helps for you to know specifically which captains to use, and then you're writing down the premiums that you have and saying, okay, I need to remember that I want to pull Sansonetti on this premium and that premium, et cetera, et cetera. So if I'm putting mine on Venezia specifically, then I'm probably going to use him on Roma. Um, I'm probably going to use him on everybody's favorite Paulo Emilio, but that's going to be a very specific build. So that I'm probably not gonna use a Paulo Emilio build with whatever that piece of garbage tier 6 is called. I don't remember off the top of my head, but and because of the fact that you've got it set to Venezia, as Rob says, you're going to need a different commander for your Napoli. Leone, thank you. You're going to need a different build for your Napoli commander. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, if you are a battleship main, or you chose to go up the destroyer line, then you could build a Napoli specific Luigi Sansonetti. Does the Napoli matter for Sansonetti? What do you get out of that? I mean, you could get buff swift fish if you wanted to get your 12-kilometer torpedoes to reach farther. So I guess that's a plus. But I don't know. You know, GMAC, thanks for the follow. FR25. If you use the FR25 like you do the Apollo, then that works too. Then that works too. Um, there you go. FR25. Uh, Now because I have standard BB, your other captain that you're building up is probably also gonna go to secondary BB, and so for me that would be Giuseppe. I don't know if that's spelled right, but whatever. You do switch ammo types often in Napoli. Well, and so that's a thing. That's why he's good with Venezia, but Napoli you probably want to build in pack a punch, right? And build for secondaries. So that's why you have the mismatch here. If I were to redo this myself personally, see the thing is I don't play the Italian destroyer line that much. I'm not a big fan of it. So if I wanted to get Sansonetti on a Napoli, I might move to a Regolo, for example. But I don't know. Still leave me assigning Sansonetti to your Napoli with a secondary bat build. That's fine, Wolf, if you're gonna do that, but then put him on a tech tree ship. Put him on Regolo or Colombo. And then you're getting double use out of him. So that's fine. If you've already got him built for Napoli, that's what I would do. Put him on Regolo or Colombo. Oh, don't forget you also want to put him on the what's the name of the carrier? I'm drawing a blank now again. Sorry, guys. But you can also put him on the carrier. Aquila, thank you. Italian destroyers are muggers. They get close, bonk you on the head, and then retreat. Yeah, and that's honestly why I don't play them that often. So that's the Italians. What other ones have we not talked about? We've done Pan Asians. Thank you, Dr. Schatz. Pan Asians. So Pan Asia's got a newer dude, Sa Zhenbing. I have to find him in the game because I'm just gonna butcher his name and keep doing it because I don't know what else to. Here we go. Sa. Cool. All right, now this guy. How did you get him before? You don't get him in the armory. Mine is trained for the Chang'an. I never moved him up to tier 1. I am I am a seal clubber right there. Is it a collection? Okay, I couldn't remember. Um, it's containers. Collection containers. Okay, that doesn't even make it any more confusing. Anyway, the most expensive collection yet. I'm not surprised. So, it's a collection. You guys are saying. So if I go to my profile, it's one of these collections, right? Yes, the Age of Saz and Bing. So I'll drop this for a second. Yeah. So it's this collection here. So you can get him. Um, if you get all of these, and I think they gave him to me as a CC already, so I haven't actually finished this collection. But you have to purchase containers for them to finish your collection off. So show the price of the containers right here. Uh, that's a lot of doubloons. Now there's also coal, but the premium ones probably drop you more stuff or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, you can buy it for coal. So just buy it for coal and be done with it. Yeah, some containers do cost coal. Here, I'll put the category up and put by cost. So here's your most expensive containers. So this is to get Sansonetti is resolute and rapid. And then I don't remember all the other ones off the top of my head, but yeah, some of them cost coal, and then you can get premium container versions and all that good stuff. Anyway, let me go back to talking about Sa Zhenbing and where you would put him. So he's got High Alert. This allows you to gives you a proc if you get Combat Scout. It helps your main battery reload time. Also helps aircraft prep time. You've got torpedo attack, so once per battle, hitting enemy ships with 6 torpedoes. You get a boost to speed, you get a boost to consumable reload cooldown time, and you get a boost to consumable charges for your torpedo reload booster. And then finally, you get emergency supplies. This is when you get 1.5 million potential damage. Then you get 6.5% better prep time for your consumables. Okay? You pay around 210 coal. Thank you, Dr. Schatz. It's inflation. That's just how it works. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to go to here because you can see for battleships, he gets buffed vigilance and buffed emergency repair specialist. Those don't really matter. And then for aircraft carriers, he gets buffed engine boost. So the boost duration's a little bit better. Cruisers, he gets a buff consumables enhancements. So that's kind of nice, but you're not going to get Combat Scout with it. For destroyers as well, there's the buff consumables enhancements. And by the way, I wouldn't recommend him for destroyers and cruisers. There's somebody better. So anyways, judging by the talents here, I would say he's best suited for a destroyer. Specifically, I would put him on, let me put the thing back up here. I said I've got him assigned to the Chang'an. You would probably want to put him on the Yu Yang. I don't know if I spelled that right. I already have a 21-point Yu Yang captain, so I might put him whenever I get around to buying the Kunming. I might put him on the Kunming, okay? But you're probably going to want to put him on the Destroyer to start with. All of those talents work really well. They jive really well with being a destroyer captain. So obviously, from there, you could put them on other ones. Most important thing they have is they have tracers. Yeah, they do have tracers. I actually prefer to turn those off. You guys know you can turn those off, right? You can go here and you can say, I want this to be activated or deactivated if you want to. I like to deactivate the shell tracers, and I like to deactivate the pennant. I like the fireworks, so I keep the signal flare up. But generally, I don't want people to know that I'm using a special captain. That being said, having the tracer part of it is very useful in a environment, competitive environment where everybody is shooting a certain target. You can tell which shots are yours versus which ones are, your teammates. I almost said enemies, but that's if you're playing ranked. Anyway, so for here, you're gonna put them on DDs as well, like the Low Yang. I would definitely run him on Low Yang, for example. Yeah, I'd probably put him on a Low Yang. There's the thing is, Low Yang doesn't benefit from an additional charge of torpedo reload booster, but hey, whatever. Do you want to put him on carriers? Probably not. Are there Pan-Asian battleships that you want to put him on? I guess, sure. Are you going to get combat scout in a battleship? No. Are you going to get torpedo hits in a battleship? No. What was battleship talents? Emergency repair specialist and vigilance, or the skills. I mean, those you're not really going to use vigilance often. And I guess because of the buff, you could use emergency repair specialist on it. But to me, there's a better choice for a lot of the other ones. And let's go to the commander, the commanders I'm talking about, and that's going to be the wrongs. Why not Jinan also? Well, Shats, you're teeing me up for the perfect answer, and that's going to be the wrongs. Two wrongs never make a right, but in this game they do. Wrong one, wrong two. Dal wrong and while wrong or whatever. Now, the wrongs are important because they have buffed demolition expert, they have buffed survivability expert, buffed pyrotechnician if they're on a carrier, and so here's the thing about the wrongs. Okay, the wrongs are perfect on aircraft carriers and they're perfect on destroyers. And here is where I would put one of my wrongs. I would put one of my wrongs on the Jinan. The buffed survivability expert really helps with the light cruiser line. In addition, the buffed demolition expert would really help as well. So you get extra 0.5% chance of causing a fire, and frankly, with the light cruisers, you're always spamming HE. So that's where I would put. That's where I would, you know, that's who I would assign to my Jinan. Okay. Um. Yes, exactly. That's always the joke, Javier. Exactly. Two wrongs don't make a right, but in this game, two wrongs do make a right. Um. Are there any other tech trees? No, it's just a destroyer and light cruiser line for right now. So if I've got him on the Jinan, here's where I would put Lo Yang with a question mark, because Lo Yang with you wouldn't care about the buff pyrotechnician, but for the buff survivability expert, Lo Yang comes in really handy. This is where I have my Lo Yang, for example. And there you go. Exactly. The San Zhang, which is the Asian version of the Saipan, would absolutely be where you'd want to put one of these wrongs as well. A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people forget about that. And frankly, the San Zhang's Saipan's not a great ship anyways, right? But there you go. You got that option. Um, oh my God, what are we listening to? Is this like Star Trek? Oh my God, it sounds like it. Anyways, so in this, I just can't hold it together now. Um, wrong two. Wrong two could go into another tech tree line ship. You could put him on like whatever tech tree ship you don't have Shazan Bing on. So you could absolutely put him on soon. There's gonna be a sub. Is there gonna be a sub line for Pan Nation? That'd be interesting. So if I've got one on the Yu Yang, I might put one on the Chung Mu, for example. If I you put it on whatever tech tree ship you love, okay? Whether that be honestly, I would probably put them on. I would probably put them on whatever the same. class of whatever you put Sazan Bing on. So then you've got the ability to play around with the destroyer builds. So if that's the case, then I would put the Lo Yang obviously down there and work from there. Jer, thank you for the 100 bits, my dude. Oh, it's a premium sub. Okay, so then yeah, so then you're gonna build them. You're probably gonna put. Are you gonna get Combat Scout on that? I don't know. Whatever. It seems like my AI bot is being dumb, Jer. So it unfortunately isn't gonna put something awesome in chat. But thank you again for the bits. Appreciate you, man. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's relatively easy to figure out. And then so if you've got the wrong if you got wrong number one on the Janan, obviously for other premium CLs, whatever. This is a little bit easy to kind of figure out. Have I missed anybody? I've missed the Dutch lines. All right, Dutch. We'll be finding more weird songs. It's pretty funny actually. Um, so the Dutch commanders, you've got Klaus Jensen, right, and then you've got de Ruyter, and I think these are both the same. I missed the comment with line. Oh wait, that's wargaming, right? So for the Dutch, you've got Klaus Jensen. Okay, and then the other one is De Ruyter. Michiel. There we go. Okay, so I think these guys have the same skills. Demo expert, focus fire training. Yeah, they do. Okay, so both of them have bonus to demo expert and a bonus to focus fire training. It's not the greatest of skills to really have buffed, frankly. These guys, I would say, they're not useless, but they're very unhelpful. Okay, you only have the Dutch tech tree line anyway, that one tech tree line. And really, it's only going to be helpful. Denter Vosk, thank you for the follow. Make sure you type exclamation point ticket to get in for our giveaway. Are there any other Dutch ships out there? Well, yes. There's the okay. You're going to be forced because of the fact that there's only one tech tree line. You're going to be forced to put your Janssen, De Ruyter, whatever. You're going to be forced to put them up the tech tree line. So you're probably going to put one on the Howden Lu, right? And you're probably going to put the next one on, I don't know, whatever other line. Actually, you know what? Here's what I would do. I would put one on the Howden Lu, and then I would put one on. Is it the 6 or the 7 that changes gun size? Is it the 6 or the 7, guys? Let's see. Because the 8 is still. Why don't I have the 7? Early access, probably. It's probably because of the early access. Endracht is 7, right? But does it have the light cruiser guns at 7? I can't for the life of me remember. The equipment.
The 7 has 152s.
I can click in it. 150. Okay. So the reason why, yes, the Harlem is 203s at tier 8. So the reason why I'm doing this like this, the reason why I'm doing them as separate is because you're going to have one, therefore, built for heavy cruisers, and then you're going to have one built for light cruisers. This is huge because you have the 7 prevention, right, as well. And because they're cruisers, you can't take a heavy cruiser build and then throw it down to 7. Okay? So your premium light cruisers are gonna live down here. And that is helpful-ish because you get buffed to your pyrotechnician or demo expert, whatever. So that would work really well. Androct has 120 millimeter?
No, it's 152. I was just
No, it
looking
doesn't.
at it.
Androct. Androct, I'm looking at it right now. It's 152. The point is, it's a light cruiser. It's the light cruiser, and it's going to be the same build as the D7. Wonder why Galron wasn't paired with the D7? I don't know. D7? Ha ha ha! Ba-dum-ts. Um, anyways, so the Reuter is going to be good for Indroct, and then you're probably also going to want to take advantage if you've got the Groningen, right? You're going to want to put him on a Groningen for a destroyer, right? Does it matter? Do you want to use those abilities on a destroyer? I don't know. I have my Jansen on it, but I just, I guess it makes sense on a Groningen because you're just gonna spam HE anyway, so you can kind of build into Demo Expert, but Demo Expert is still a weak skill even with the buff, so I don't know. Um, so these would be then premium heavy cruisers. And do we have any premium heavy cruisers? Well, there's the Van Spike. Does the Van Spike use? The Van Spike is the same as it's got the 203s. I haven't even played it, but it's got the where is it? It's got the Dutch airstrike, and I think if I remember right, it's got a special thing about the airstrike. But anyways, some no worries. There's so much knowledge out here. You're hearing how many times I'm screwing things up, you know, and that's just there's just so much in the game now, right? And then you've got the Trump. Now the Trump is you're probably not going to be well. You're not going to spam HE much, but the Trump does drop HE bombs and doesn't uh whatever called demo expert is that what it's called now? Yeah, demo expert does help with HE shells. Main battery, secondary, it does not. Get that man some dirty water. No, I want to keep my mind straight. And I have 5 replays to do after this. Um, so you know, the reason I'm highlighting that is because whatever you put on your Groningen, you're probably going to want to build a different one for the Tromp, frankly. Okay? So there you have it. Um, yeah, Wolfie, at some point there very well could be a change to the mechanics of whatever in this game, commander skills and all that kind of stuff. And when that happens, this whole Zath chat will be meaningless. But it is what it is. Um, all right. So, am I missing any? We did USN. We did American, Japanese, Germans, Soviets, French, British, Pan European, Italian, Pan Asian, Dutch. Obviously, with the new Pan American battleship line that has been spoken of or whatever, there's that new captain I think that's going to come out for that line. Um, I don't know. You could put him on whichever line you want. Um, I can if that would really help. Yeah, I don't think there's no Spanish commanders, right? There's no Spanish. There's no Commonwealth. There's no Pan American. We did European. We did um, the Dutch, the Netherlands. We did Pan Asia, Italy, France, UK, Germany. Okay, so we did them all. So I hope you guys, those of you that sat through YouTube and stuff, appreciated the video. To be quite honest, even though it's gonna be over an hour, maybe I'll just leave it at 1 anyways, and I'll put markers in place. Um, Now, Dr. Schatz shared with me a a document that he created that Clyde put together. Rob, do me a favor and shout Clyde out. We should at least shout him out if we're going to use something that he put together. So in this one, he kind of Okay. So if you really want to get into it, you could do something like this, and you can absolutely use his. So he has built what I've already built. So maybe the better way would have been to ask him if I could use his and stuff. Um, Pretty sure it's just Clyde Place. But anyways, um, so there you go. I'll put his spreadsheet link. Whoops. I'll put his spreadsheet link in the channel as well. And absolutely, if there's a resource out there, use it. There's your shout out for Clyde. Um, if you want a more simplified version, you can take mine. But it is what it is. Either way, you can see it takes a lot of time to sit here and put this stuff together. It might be worth doing this to think about, at the very least, like I said, your special captains. Where are you going to put your special captains? What ships are you going to put your special captains on? It's important to have all this laid out. Okay? It's important to have all this laid out because you want to maximize the use of those captains. Yeah, it's absolutely the best way, right? Oh, okay. I'm glad my perspective helped. Okay, so I'm gonna write down Zath chat. And what am I gonna call this one? Commander efficiency.